14 News at 9.
West Monroe High goes on lockdown after an armed man enters the school. We'll tell you who was arrested and why they say they were on the campus. And a tree falls on a home, trapping a pregnant mother inside during last night's storm. We'll share the dramatic story of her rescue. Plus, a theft operation could be moving across the ArkLaMiss. We'll tell you what's being targeted and show you who police are after. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, a young man found in the Ouachita River with not many answers on how he got there. Tonight, the family of Quadarius Moore held a vigil to make sure that his name is not forgotten. They tell Fox 14's Chelsea Jones that they know something happened to him. Right, Chelsea?
Right, Sarah. It's always a tough pill to swallow losing a loved one, and the family tells me Quadarius had too much to live for, and there's no way he ended up in that river by himself. Just beneath the bridge is a family standing together to remember a life gone suddenly.
He's not a man that goes missing from his family for days at a time. So we got worried when nobody had seen him.
Family says 25-year-old Quadarius Moore had been missing for 5 days. Then they got the call that he had been found in the Ouachita River.
I was devastated. I was like, no, not him, because he had the most humble, respected. So, I mean, he didn't deserve what happened to him.
Monroe police responded to a body found during a river cleanup on Saturday. They have not released a cause of death. Sherry January, Moore's aunt, says rumors have circulated, but they know he didn't kill himself.
He has a beautiful son. He has a beautiful family. He was not suicidal. We have things that we believe happened to him. We believe foul play was involved, and we know justice will be prevailed.
Despite the pain, they hold on to his memory to help carry his legacy.
He still lives in us. He's not gone. He might not be here physically, but his spirit still lives in us.
Moore's family want the person responsible to step forward and to be held accountable. So if you have any information surrounding this tragedy, contact Monroe Police. In the studio, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Chelsea. A Sterlington man killed in a fiery crash last night. It happened on I-20 West, just west of Delhi in Richland Parish. Louisiana State Police say Patrick Gwynn rammed his SUV into the back of Charles Green's Ram pickup. The pickup traveled into the median and rolled over. The SUV went off the right side of the road, struck a large tree, and burst into flames. Gwynn, the driver of the SUV, died at the crash site. Green, the driver of the Ram pickup, was taken to the hospital with injuries. Samples were taken to test for drugs and alcohol, and the crash is being investigated. A pregnant mother of 2 had the shock of a lifetime during the storm last night when her house collapsed after it was hit by a tree. As soon as it started raining, Keanya Clark took her kids to her grandmother's house. Keanya went back to grab her phone and other items. That's when a tree fell on her house, trapping her in her living room. It took firefighters about 15 minutes to cut Keanya free from the debris. Miraculously, she escaped with only a minor scratch on her face.
It was scary, because I heard the lightning, then I heard the stuff hit. No, everything's gone.
Clark is 6 months pregnant. Both she and her unborn baby are okay. The cleanup of her house began this morning. The storm did some major damage all over Monroe and also hit the Louisiana Purchase Zoo last night. Some of the damage caused power lines in the front half of the zoo to be destroyed. The zoo is closed today and will remain closed through tomorrow to clean up debris and fallen trees covering the sidewalks. All the animals are safe and secure inside the zoo, and directors hope to have the park open by Thursday, but say to check the Facebook page for any other information. Ruston is in need of some help identifying 2 men who robbed 4 local shops and a state department. Fox 14's Maya Hudgens is back from talking with one of the company owners on how he's feeling.
Catalytic converter theft, a crime that's more common than you'd think, but a local Ruston company never thought it would happen to them.
I feel like somebody doesn't care about what we do to make our living, to provide for our families, and they make it a problem for us starting out the day.
Sunday night, starting around 9:45, 2 white men robbed 3 local businesses on East Kentucky Street: Fastenal, Terja's Rental, and Sexton Animal Health Center. But they didn't stop there. They hit up a DOTD barn and a daycare bus of a local church.
So we first got here in the morning, and my guys started cranking the vehicles, and we noticed they were obviously pretty loud.
Once they found out the catalytic converters were missing, they checked surveillance, where they saw the two men and their red F-250 truck.
And the guy said, "Don't come back and get the car."
The valuable platinum inside the catalytic converters are what make them high in profit.
It seemed to me like they did have a plan of what they were going to do, where they were going to park the getaway vehicle, and all that.
Police say the suspects crawled into their cars and used a sawzall to cut out the catalytic converters. They only spent about 30 minutes getting converters from Tertia's vehicles alone. Without the converters, driving the truck is impossible, leaving this company with one truck for deliveries.
We had a lot of customer pickups and deliveries that morning, so that made it a major inconvenience for us. We're a really hard-working family business.
In Ruston, I'm Maya Hudgens, Fox 14 News.
Now, if you know who these men are or have any details, please contact the Ruston Police Department. New at 9, has your water pressure been a little weaker than normal? Well, if you live in the city of Monroe, that's because of all this heat. Now officials want to remind you the water is safe and you can expect no surprises on your bill. Since we have been experiencing higher temperatures than normal, the demand for water is higher. Officials say the city is currently operating at 85% of its water capacity, and the main area affected is out on Highway 165 towards CenturyLink. However, no serious issues have been reported, but there are some tweaks to your routine that could help.
If we're going to water the yards, maybe later in the evenings, because right now the morning times is our biggest demand. That's when people are getting up or getting ready for school and going to work. So that pulls a lot more water off of us and early in the mornings. Don't run your water for long periods of times. Don't take real long showers. Try to conserve as much water as you can.
There are two projects in play right now that will help avoid these water pressure issues in the future. The first is the 2 million gallon pump station on 165 that is scheduled to be completed by November. And of course, these water plant expansion that is already 90% completed in the planning phase. Well, it was an exciting day at ULM today as the water ski team celebrates their 2018 national championship win and their new ski boat for the upcoming season. Team members received champion rings and took photos with the new boat. ULM's water ski boat was given with assistance from B&L Marine. The school is very supportive of the team and hopes they can bring in a 30th national championship win this season. Athletes say they are very excited to have a brand new boat to train with.
It means that the university is behind us. Like, we love seeing the support from them, and to get a brand new boat is just out of this world. Like, we could not ask for anything more.
Staff and faculty attended the event in support of the team and hopes the boat will help secure that upcoming win. The ski team is back in the water today to train for more upcoming events. Also at ULM, a $25,000 scholarship was donated to the university's risk management and insurance program. It's called the Terry M. Duke Endowed Scholarship. Although Duke went to Mississippi State, he has ties to ULM for over 3 decades and decided this donation would be better suited for ULM. He says there will be criteria in order for students to receive the scholarship, but high grades aren't at the top of the list.
I didn't necessarily want the student that had the highest grade point average. I wanted someone that they saw had a need and had a desire to work in the insurance world. And so if they qualify for ULM, they would qualify for this program.
University President Dr. Nick Bruno also said these scholarships are extremely important for students, especially during times of rising tuition. Coming up on Fox 14, an expansion that will benefit South Arkansas and our nation's military breaks ground. We've got the update on construction at Lockheed Martin, plus details on how the new addition will bring money to Camden. And a cancer clinic is providing more comprehensive treatments to its patients. We'll tell you more about the new facility coming to El Dorado.
News sponsored by Go Auto Insurance. News sponsored by Marie's Medical.
Before you go to the polls to cast your vote, get to know the candidates for State Senate District 35. See them debate the issues that matter to you September 16th at 9:30 on Fox 14, your local election headquarters.
Brought to you by Creed & Creed, your local injury attorneys. Get the 6-minute advantage with the live Storm Tracker Doppler radar on Fox 14, keeping you and your family safe. Brought to you by E. Orem Young Law, the bankruptcy specialist.
Looking for ways to save money? Join our USA program. You'll get a 15% discount on any repairs that we make. You never pay overtime or holiday rates. You always get moved to the front of the list, and we give you a 5-year parts and labor warranty on those repairs. Give us a call today, West Monroe or Ruston.
At Air Pros.
This fall, book 2 separate qualifying stays at choicehotels.com and earn a free night. Because when your business is rewarding yourself, our business is you. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday home-style chicken now available every day. And our new sweet and smoky home-style chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
I'm coming home, baby, now. I'm coming home now, right away. I'm coming home, baby, now. I'm sorry now I ever went away. Every night and day I go and stay. I'm coming home, baby. Come on home. Coming home, baby, now. You know I'm waiting here for you. Coming home, baby, now.
Let's start by being honest with each other.
Okay, Ralph, let's do that. When he ran for Congress, Ralph Abraham promised to donate his entire salary to charity.
I will take a salary, but I will donate it to charity.
But instead of going to help sick kids and wounded veterans, Abraham pocketed that salary, even though he's worth more than $12 million.
Let's start by being honest with each other.
Okay, Ralph, that starts with you. Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
Hey guys, here's another energy-saving tip. Having your entire HVAC system fully cleaned and serviced will help prevent costly repairs to your system throughout the season. Cut out your worries. Call us today and see how we can save you 15%. We're Air Pros at West Monroe and Ruston.
Edwards Body Works. Reliable since 1971. Edwards Body Works. Edwards Body Works.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Lockheed Martin in Camden broke ground on a new facility that's set to be completed in the next 2 years. Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with officials about the expansion that will benefit South Arkansas and our nation's military.
A new 70,000 square foot facility is set to make a huge impact for the region and the country.
We're so excited for this great opportunity. Really, our products have just seen increased demand over the last couple of years due to the great performance of our systems as well as the reliability of our systems.
It will be the hub for producing rockets and precision strike missiles for war efforts. Not only will the facility support our men and women in uniform, it will bring paying jobs and an economic boost to Camden and South Arkansas.
Construction timeline will be about a 12-month process and then about 3 to 6 months to get tooling and all installed ready for production.
The new facility is set to be built right inside of these gates. Lockheed Martin officials say it's expected to bring about 300 jobs to the area.
A lot of high-tech manufacturing positions. We'll need engineering functions to support that as well, supervision, some key leadership roles. Even looking at finance, business-type positions as well.
The big move-in date is set for the first quarter of 2020. The company says they hope to continue investing in their Camden operations for years to come. Reporting in Camden, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, Fox 14 News.
Senator Tom Cotton congratulated the company today in its big investment to Camden. He said everyone can be proud of the increased role the state will play in forging our nation's arsenal. The Carti Cancer Center has announced plans to build a comprehensive cancer center in El Dorado. This new facility will have expanded services and treatment options than the clinic already in El Dorado. Planned services will include medical radiation, oncology, an infusion suite, imaging, and an on-site lab. The El Dorado location will be the 5th treatment location in the state, and officials say this new facility will be the hub for patients in South Arkansas.
It makes sense to us to not stop with just clinic services, but to build a full-scale cancer center where patients don't have to make a drive to Little Rock and they can stay right here close to home.
The project is still in its planning phases. Officials say they are actively working to contact philanthropic organizations to help with the funding process. And now Brian joins us from the Weather Center. What are things looking like out there?
Well, it's going to be hot, sunny as we go through the remainder of the work week here, but we'll time out some of those rain chances returning, maybe even in the form of a tropical disturbance. All that coming up next, Sarah.
Thanks, Brian. Also coming up on Fox 14, ever wonder why the scale goes up as you age? We'll tell you the answer and what you can do to reduce potential weight gain.
We're going all out until we're all out of remaining 2019s. Hurry to Vantro Toyota before it's too late. Hurry, get huge discounts on every new 2019 4Runner, every new 2019 RAV4, and every new 2019 Highlander with $3,000 rebates. Or 0% for 60 months is available. So log on at VantroToyota.com for details. Or hurry to Vantro Toyota. Now more than ever, right on the corner, right on the price.
Have you been thinking about covering your patio or screening it in? I am Paul Cooper, the patio cover and screen room man. Give me a call and I will come out and give you a free estimate. I will have samples of my materials to show you how it attaches to your house, the colors it comes in, and how much it's going to cost. So give me a call so we can show you how we can cover your patio or screen it in. Nobody in this area has installed more patio covers or screen rooms than me. And remember, when you hire me, I'll be there.
Ryan Chevrolet's $1 million truck and SUV sale has launched. You choose. Save $11,000 off new Silverado 1500s or 2500s. That's $11,000 off Silverado 1500s or 2500s. Shop a great selection of Silverados in stock. Buy today and get $11,000 off Silverados. Shop one of North Louisiana's largest Chevrolet and used car inventories online at RyanChevy.com or on Oliver Road in Monroe. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck and SUV dealer in Northeast Louisiana.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC and get over $10,000 total value on this next generation Sierra.
See your Monroe area GMC dealer.
Get your mower going. It's here. It's now. The Exmark Triple Play Sales Event. Great pricing on Exmark's most popular models. And that's not where it ends. No interest financing until March. No payments until April 1st. And we'll restart the warranty clock on April 1st, 2020. So mow now and pay later. That's great pricing. A warranty restart and no payments until 2020 with 0% financing with approved credit. Exmark's Triple Play Sales Event going on now at Ouachita Lawn and Garden.
Whether it's time to get to work or to your weekend, make sure it's all quality time. Get to Nissan Truck Month and save big on a J.D. Power award-winning truck, including Titan, best in quality, and Frontier, best in dependability. Both with the tech you want and the quality you need. Hurry in to Nissan Truck Month today. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus cash back. And for a limited time, get the Midnight Edition package at no extra charge.
If you've been injured in a big rig accident, call Creed & Creed, your local injury attorneys.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. And now, Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Brian Briggs.
Well, good Tuesday evening to you. Hopefully your day was good. It was another hot one, humid one, and mostly dry for most of us. However, especially here in the Twin Cities, we saw a few of those isolated afternoon pop-up thunder showers develop and cool us down a little bit, so we're not complaining there, but it is still fairly warm and muggy even at this hour. Currently sitting at 82 degrees, and our dew point temperature, again, measure of moisture in the air, sitting at 72, so it is very, very humid in addition to it being warm. Temperatures generally anywhere from the middle 70s to lower 80s across the vast majority of the Arklamis, so fairly typical for this time of year. However, it's a little bit warm. We did hit a high of 94, which was a few degrees above average, and feeling more like the 80s across the vast majority. Again, upper 70s for some that maybe saw a little bit of the wave of rain, but as I mentioned, most of us were dry today, and only going to make this drought monitor worse. This one came out last week. The new one came out actually today, but it's posted on Thursday. Thursday, so that's when we'll see the newest one, but don't be surprised if it looks worse than what we're currently seeing now. Live radar brought to you by ERM Young, not showing anything really going on right now, and that really hasn't shown much today, although we did have some isolated showers kind of moving through the vicinity and tried to have a little bit of a sea breeze front kind of move up from the south, but that ran into some high pressure, at least weak high pressure that was situated over us. But tomorrow it will be stronger, and with that being said, it will be still humid, but not as much upper level support or really for much in the way of rain chances. Now, taking a look at the Atlantic, yeah, we do have a disturbance, 1 out of 3 that's currently sitting out in that area, and this one does have the potential to want to track into the Gulf of Mexico. And this will kind of happen towards the end of the weekend into next week, and once it does get here, if it does continue to favor heading into the Gulf of Mexico, this will bring us our next chance of showers and thunderstorms to head for the second half of the weekend into next week. So they're not expecting it to really grow into anything big. It'll just kind of be a tropical disturbance, but definitely we need the rain. Until then, though, the high pressure that is off towards the northeast of us will continue to kind of expand with each day. We'll allow for a few clouds each afternoon. However, really not a lot of support for those showers and storms. And Future Tracker really not picking up on that. So then we'll kind of have this front off towards our northwest by the time we get to Friday. High pressure kind of weakens up, and then we'll see that tropical system coming up too. So it'll kind of be a war between this little front here and that tropical disturbance. We'll be caught in the middle of it, and that's what will give us our rain chances by the time we get to the Sunday into next week time frame. So dropping down to about 73 tonight, warm and humid once again. And if you're wondering, the moto lawn, I know a lot of lawns are probably dead right now, but if they do decide to come back, you have a couple days to kind of get out and do some yard work until those rain chances come back and give us a little bit of relief. So for tomorrow, going to be another hot and humid one again. And a quick look at the long-range forecast shows that the work week looking dry, hot, and then those changes come by the time we get to Sunday. So highs will drop a little bit too, which will be nice, but it will still be pretty warm and humid with highs in the lower 90s, but kind of bringing us where we're supposed to be. We are in September now, so not surprising that we're seeing this, but you know, it is tropical season. We'll be keeping our eyes on it.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brian.
Yep.
The Department of Transportation is giving almost $1 billion back to states, reimbursing them for cleanup after natural disasters or other calamities. DOT says they're keeping a promise made to states during desperate times, but as Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley reports, some of the money is going towards disasters that happened almost 20 years ago.
39 states and territories are getting almost $1 billion to refill their coffers after cleaning up from a disaster.
It's $871 million of emergency relief money that states and communities need for cleanup after storms.
Nicole Nason, administrator of the Federal Highway Administration, says the money reimburses communities that use their own funds for disaster cleanup.
The states need to clean up instantly, and we make a commitment at the federal government that we will make them whole.
But when you take a look at the breakdown listed here, you'll notice that some of the disasters this reimbursement money is going towards happened years ago. For example, Alaska is getting $1.5 million from flooding in 2012, while Wisconsin gets more than $10 million for flooding in 2016. Even New York makes the list, getting almost $5 million for cleanup from the 9/11 attacks, one day shy of the 18-year anniversary. So why the delay?
Sometimes the money comes in pieces. So we may be able to reimburse for sections of cleanup or pieces of cleanup.
Nason says it comes down to when Congress approves the money, which then gets paid back to the states.
But what we want to do is make sure that even if it takes time, we are able to fund states and localities for anything that they have spent that we have committed to reimbursing them.
DOT says the states slated to get reimbursement funds should see the money soon, if they haven't already. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
Coming up on Fox 14 News at 9, if you struggle to get your kids to eat their vegetables, there may be a solution. We've got helpful suggestions for parents of picky eaters. And coming up in business news, a fast food restaurant is getting into the breakfast business. We'll tell you coming up.
The Animal House is your local pet store, Cypress Street, West Monroe.
Governor John Bel Edwards is releasing the state's unemployment report, and the results show Louisiana has made huge progress.
The lowest unemployment rate in 11 years.
One of the biggest economic development announcements in state history.
More than $2.5 billion, 2,000 new jobs.
$250 million facility, 600 construction jobs. CenturyLink is staying put.
Thousands of jobs in the future.
Governor Edwards adds the past year shows the highest GDP and personal income in our state's history.
This fall, book 2 separate qualifying stays at choicehotels.com and earn a free night. Because when your business is rewarding yourself, our business is you. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday home-style chicken now available every day. And our new sweet and smoky home-style chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Want to take your X-Fi to the next level? Now you can with X-Fi Advantage, giving you enhanced performance and protection. When devices are connected to your home's Wi-Fi, they're protected, helping keep outsiders from getting inside. Plus, you get unlimited data, so you can stream, surf, and game all you want. With confidence, you can get coverage where you need it most. That's X-Fi Advantage. Check out Gig Speed Internet or any of our other speed options. Learn more or get started now for as low as $20 per month for a year. Call, click, or visit a store today.
I'm Tim Temple, and I'm running for Insurance Commissioner. I've spent my life in the insurance business. As a licensed local agent, I work to make sure Louisiana families, like yours and mine, were covered. And when the BP oil spill hit, I helped local businesses recover. But insurance in our state is broken. We pay twice the national average. Clueless career politicians got us into this mess. We need a professional to fix it. I'm Tim Temple, your insurance guy for Insurance Commissioner.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
For the first time in nearly a decade, the number of uninsured Americans has gone up. The Census Bureau reported today that some 27.5 million people were uninsured last year. That's an increase of 1.9 million people. It's the first time that that's happened in the U.S. since 2009. The impact comes as fewer people are being covered by Medicaid. The report also found that more children were uninsured in 2018. That's mainly due to a decrease in the number of kids covered by Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP. And new research reveals why people tend to gain weight as they get older. Scientists in Sweden studied fat cells in 54 men and women over 13 years. During this time, all of them had decreases in lipid turnover, which is how quickly fat in the cells is removed and stored. People who did not compensate by eating fewer calories gained weight by an average of 20%. Prior studies have shown that one way to speed up lipid turnover is to exercise more. And variety is key when it comes to getting kids to eat their vegetables. That's according to a new study conducted in Australia. Parents of picky children were told to either introduce one veggie, multiple veggies, or keep their current eating habits. At first, most kids continued to reject their peas and carrots, but 5 weeks later, kids who were given several types of veggies had doubled their consumption. 3 months after the study, most parents said it was very easy to get their kids to eat vegetables. Well, if you're a fan of napping, you'll like the findings of a new study suggesting that sleeping during the day may be linked to a healthy heart. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
It's no secret sleep's an important part of your health, but according to new research, a daytime nap taken once or twice a week could lower the risk of heart attacks or strokes. The study published in Heart, the Journal of the British Cardiovascular Society, tracked more than 3,400 people between the ages of 35 and 75 for 5 years. Researchers found those who indulged in occasional napping between 5 minutes to an hour were 48% less likely to suffer a heart attack, stroke, or heart failure than those who didn't nap at all. But the study found no association between heart attacks or strokes and more frequent, longer naps. Other researchers say those who catch a few more Z's a couple times a week typically have healthier lifestyles compared to those who nap daily, who are more likely to be sick, adding, "We shouldn't go as far as saying naps will make you healthier. Instead, they say, focus on getting a good night's sleep, eating well, and staying active." For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Some top companies offer napping opportunities for employees, including Google and Nike. In consumer news, the competition for your fast food breakfast dollar is getting a new entry. Wendy's says it's taking its breakfast menu nationwide next year and will hire 20,000 new employees to boost the effort. The fast food chain has given breakfast a test run in about 300 locations, but now it goes to nearly 6,000 U.S. locations across the country. Wendy's has tried breakfast in the past, as recently as 2012, but didn't find the success to keep it going. The company intends to spend $20 million on the newest push. And Wendy's rival McDonald's has its eye on transforming the drive-thru experience with some new technology. The fast food giant is acquiring Apprente, a startup that specializes in conversational voice-based ordering technology. McDonald's says the tech understands different accents and can be used in kiosks and mobile ordering to speed the drive-thru process. And in business news, new data says household income is on the rise. Fox Business correspondent Colin McShane has this story and more in tonight's Fox Means Business Report.
American families are making a little more money. The Census Bureau says the median U.S. household income was $63,179 in 2018, and that is slightly above the year before. Now, the government also says the poverty rate hit its lowest point since 2001 last year. And for those looking to make more money, this is the season to be hiring. Target says it plans to hire more than 130,000 temporary workers for the upcoming holiday shopping season. As student loan debt tops $1.5 trillion, there's a new survey out from Fidelity, and it shows not all Americans are losing sleep over it. Their research shows less than half of current college students and recent graduates feel stressed about their student debt. And finally, if your commute to work is stressing you out, well, you might want to think about relocating to Seattle. That's because a new report from WalletHub says that's the city with the best public transportation. The study looked at things like accessibility, safety, and reliability. That's business. I'm Colin McShane.
Still to come on Fox 14, a high school on lockdown after two armed men show up on campus. We'll tell you what they were doing and where they are now. And Trump's national security advisor makes a sudden exit. We'll hear from senators. Keep it right here on Fox 14.